Hi everybody, it's Diane here having a glue book session in progress because I started it and this cactus is too big, it won't fit. I couldn't find the Snoopy page. Let's just begin again. And I found another one of these Snoopy hearts. Yeah, okay. If anybody catches closed caption before I correct it, because I put them up and then I'll correct it a couple hours later. That's just the way my schedule goes. But anyway, occasionally they'll have laughter on there. Occasionally they'll have applause, and that's when I'm doing something like this. They put it in as applause. Well, now they're putting in snorts. When I go like, that's not snorting, that's sniffling or sniffing. And I apologize, I shouldn't do that, but occasionally I just do. What can I say? I'm human. So it's putting in snorts. I'm sorry. That's stupid. That's just stupid. And I don't know. I guess I'm in a mood today and I can just call it stupid. It's stupid. Okay. So for anybody reading it, I'm not snorting. I don't snort. Even when I laugh, I don't snort. Okay. We got one thing in and we had a big discussion about snorting. We're all set. All right, would this go anywhere on here? Little chocolate pieces, I don't know what they were. No, okay, this side's done. I actually have some bowls. We haven't had that for quite a while. I'm kind of surprised. It's been so long, I don't even know where that stuff is. It's in this book. Here we are. Those are cool. It's Pyrex. These are scrapbook paper. It looks like the same. Somebody did their homework on that, huh? Well, okay. Can you see that? No, you can't. Way over here. That's fine. So our weather has finally improved. We're finally out of the 19-degree weather. Actually, we had a couple near 50s recently. It's very nice. Although I don't know, everybody's furnace is different or something. But a friend of mine often laments when it's like in the 40-something degree area, it seems like your furnace doesn't kick on as much, so you're just as cold as when it's 19. This go on here. Yeah, I have no idea how I'll put that on closed caption. Alright, that's an old newspaper I came across. Shoot, I'd kind of like to use it because I cut it out. Well, we could do this, right? Okay. That's fine. Can you see down there? Yeah. Good. Well, I started making 3 more hardback books. I laid off for quite a while because I have so many. But I just like doing that. And I don't know, is this, not the modest thing to say, but I just think it's it's so cool that I can make a book. And I know that, you know, traditional bookmaker binders are not going to agree with that, but I just think that's so neat. So I like doing it, and that's all there is to it. Okay, so I started that. The index card stuff is going pretty well. I'm on card 50, I think. All right, this is how this vase was. Can you see? It was, you know, that's the way it was. It had a hole in the middle, which I thought would be kind of neat maybe back here. But you know what? It looks fake, doesn't it? There's like hardly any shading on there or anything. It doesn't look real. I don't like that. And then there was another one. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't even know if that'll make it on an iCAD. And closed caption always refers to iCAD as iPad. That's okay. As you could tell by the way I said okay, I don't really like it. Okay, nuts to that. All right, let's move on to the other book. Wow, this is some session here, I know. All right, those little chocolates go here. Well, not gonna fit there. Or there. Or there. Well, okay, that fits, but this is more like ice cream stuff. Okay. They're not glue book sessions. They're like Diane arguing with herself sessions, right? Like why stuff won't fit. It was on a coloring book and a catalog. Well, I don't want to go over the perforation because some century someone's going to want to tear this page out and then it won't work. Right, Diane. Well, what if we do it over there, but we trim a little bit? All right, it's got to go up by his ear. Okay, fine. You win that argument. Okay. And I had the dog altered book out yesterday, and I did 2 pages by myself. And I was kind of gung-ho thinking, yeah, this book's getting almost done. Let's count the pages that are left. It's over 20 pages. Okay. A kind of wacky, ugly clown with a pipe in his mouth, no less. From an old McCall's. Oh, how about that? Can you see over there? Yeah. I haven't found any clown thing in a long time. I would like to finish this page off. Yeah, we'd like you to too, Diane. Okay, good. I have an owl. This was in an old bird book I had out for an index card collage. That's fine. All right, just right there. Very good and very gluey. All right, we have a lot of swans. It was in an HG magazine recently that they were talking about trends, and swans are a trend. We're so trendy. So I don't even remember what they all were now. That's not too bad. That's obviously a plate. And then there were two that are exactly the same, but I cut them out anyway. Well, they're not exactly the same, are they? They're flipped. Oh, these were bookends, I think. So that's the same. They're the same, but they're flipped. Yeah, this is kind of an awkward shape to work with. I'll admit to that. That was a basket wicker thing. That's not going to fit. These were a bowls dish, like a candy dish, I guess. They're not going to fit either. And that reminds me, I read that about being trendy, and I mentioned once before, I do have a small swan, like I guess it's a candy dish, I don't know, from a garage sale or something like that years ago. And occasionally I do have it up on display, but most of the time it's in storage because I don't have a place for it. I thought, well, you should go get it out and be trendy. And I keep forgetting about it. Maybe that should be there. It's kind of nice. Well, it kind of cuts into a lot on the one on the bottom. So does that. You don't see that over there. Well, I kind of like it here. Let's just do that. And then we'll worry about the other one. I also have a little tiny, I mean like this big swan that was my mother's from occupied Japan. Made in occupied Japan. So that's got to be pretty old. That's out all the time. That's small enough, I have room for it. As I know you were worried. But is it out, Diane? Well, it's all right. I don't really like it. You don't see it. Nah. Well, okay. Talked her into that one too. And we're halfway through February now when I'm filming this. So I would hope the worst of winter is behind us. I could put my snow boots away. I was thinking I should do that. Or 1 year, it was more like March or something, but it had been warm for a while, and so Diane, like I've never lived in this area before, right? I washed my winter coat and I put it away, and I mean, I'm not kidding. It was like the next day I had to get it out. Hang on, my dog's barking. Okay, I'm back. I'm just gluing this where I just had it before I stopped. And as long as I had to walk into the other part of the house, here's the one that was occupied Japan. kind of cute, really, for Occupy Japan. Okay. Well, we have a big brownie cookie something, chocolates, and frosted Rice Krispie treats, which sounds way too sweet for me, but I thought the picture was kind of cute. It's pretty and colorful, you gotta admit that. There's another sound closed caption's going to love. Which way did this go? Technically like that. No, that's okay. All right. I don't, can you tell on camera? This is like foil. You know, like it's unwrapped. Which I could have cut that out, but I don't know. I thought the foil was kind of cool. Knowing me, I'll probably end up putting stuff over it anyway. All right, one birthday thing. It's dogs wearing party hats. Of course. Of course it is. Well, that's okay. No. Yeah. Well, that's kind of cute. Let's do that. When I was a kid, there was a Baskin Robbins in town, and kids, I don't know what age, but kids could register, and on their birthday they got a free ice cream cone. Yes, we did that every year. Isn't that cool? Okay. We have patriotic. We always have patriotic anymore, don't we? I have a Snoopy and a Woodstock by a heart flag. Well, that's kind of perfect. Okay. It's crooked. I doesn't like it when her stripes are crooked. Ugh. A little bit, but it's okay. I don't remember what that was from. Might have been a stamp catalog. That's fine. And we have the Liberty Bell, which may not go on here because of the color, but you know. Well, that's kind of cool. Should we do something like that? Yeah, let's do something like that. This was a stamp catalog. That has my address on the back. I knew I was going to forget about that. Yes, Diane does live in the United States. She's not on Mars, as many people may think. Okay. And then off a postcard. It's all right. It leaves a little tiny dumb space over there. Well, I could trim it. It's still leaving a little tiny dumb space. It's a little bit better, bigger. Okay. Was there anything on the back of this one? No, we're safe. Okay. And then a sticker I came across. That I don't think I have, no. It doesn't feel very sticky anymore. All right, that's fine. Okay, very good. A turtle, well, it's probably a tortoise. Did we miss that stuff? And the boots, right here. This was in one of those paper books I have that you're supposed to cut up. Well, yeah, she's thinking, should she glue all of it down or leave it? Leave like this, maybe? Yeah, oh, okay. This page will never be completely glued, I think. Maybe I should have done that on the swan page too. Whoops. All right. So this is up, and these are up, and this is up. It's too many to remember. And then this was a print in a magazine. Stick down. Well, that's all right. I don't know that I really like it. I should cut it out, shouldn't I? I don't really like that lavender color back there anyway. Yeah, I don't really like that. In my humble opinion, this should just be on white. But then again, what do I know? This print is in circulation as is, so somebody must know what they're doing, I guess. So when is Easter this year, isn't it? I looked it up like weeks ago, and I can't remember what it is. It's in April, isn't it? Isn't it kind of late this year? That's the next decorating and egg dyeing and, oh yeah, I gotta send out cards type holiday I have to worry about. I should dye paper while I'm doing eggs. I mean, I have some, but I don't really have a ton of the Easter egg dyed notebook paper. Because you keep making books, Diane, I know. Okay, I think that's better. Goodbye, purple. Actually, I think that's loads better. Okay. And the blue boot matches the blue boot. Cool. All right, well, we've got the Rice Krispie treats, the brownie thing. That actually looks pretty darn good, doesn't it? Well, that would be all right. Should I leave corners up on these things too? I did peel, this was on the box, I don't think I said that. On the Rice Krispies box, and I did peel some cardboard off. So it's not so thick. Although this side didn't want to come too well. Do we care? No, I don't think so. Well, that's not nice. Okay, I'll do that. That's it. I'm not going to use these swans. I'm not going to use this non-shaded vase. This one could go in the front. Was that that's the other book, isn't it, Diane? Yeah. Can't keep all these books straight. I don't know. I think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. It's not like it's cut that well either. I don't think it's worth it. Okay, it's just not that interesting. Okay, folks, that's it. Not a ton of stuff today. All right, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.